So you want to be lucky? Well, you have come to the right place. My name is Adam van Langenberg, and this presentation is brought to you by the McKinnon Secondary Skeptical Society. This entire presentation is based on one book called The Luck Factor by Dr. Richard Wiseman. I cannot recommend this book enough. It's a wonderful read full of very interesting information. I also can't recommend enough Richard Wiseman's other books, Quirkology, 59 Seconds, and Paranormality, his latest work. So you've made the decision that you want to start to become a lucky person, but there are a couple of things you need to understand. First of all, there is no such thing as luck. There's no mystical force bestowing certain people with good luck and certain people with bad. There's no such thing as karma. The universe doesn't even out, at least as far as people are concerned. It's entirely possible to be a horrible person and consistently have good things happen to you. And it's just as possible to be a wonderful person and have the universe use you as a rubbish dump. Despite this, however, there is still something going on. If there's no such thing as luck, then how come some people are considered lucky? If the universe doesn't care about them, how come their lives seem so much better than ours? Well, I'm sorry to be so blunt about this, but chances are, if you're an unlucky person, it's probably your fault. Fortunately, though, there's something you can do about this. Dr. Richard Wiseman has analysed hundreds of self-reported lucky and unlucky people and determined 4 key factors that separate them. 4 simple and not so simple ways that you can change your behaviour in order to increase your luck factor. Step number 1 involves maximizing your chance opportunities. People that consider themselves to be lucky, that have a lot of good things happening to them frequently, have as many opportunities for these good things to happen as possible. And there are a couple of things they do that allow this. The first thing they do is they network. They go to parties. They meet people. They're sociable people. They try to gather as many contacts around them as they can. And not only that, this very important part is they keep in touch with people. Once they meet someone, they don't just shake their hands and walk away. They get their contact information and they communicate with them every so often. What this does is it increases the chances of, for example, somebody you knowing being able to help you in a certain situation. Being able to say, oh, wait a minute, I know somebody that might be able to do this for me. Or having people volunteer assistance for you. The second thing in this list is relax. Lucky people tend to be a lot more relaxed than unlucky people. They have fun more often. They don't let things get them down too much. And one of the benefits of being a relaxed person is that it makes you more aware. A relaxed person is much more likely to notice that $20 note stuck to the ground than an unrelaxed person. Lucky people are open to new things. They don't say no as often. They're the types of people that are willing to say, yeah, sure, I'll give that a try. Now, of course, there are limits to this. If somebody comes up to you and says, hi, I'd like to set your pants on fire just to see what happens, you'd probably be best off saying no. But if you're the type of person that frequently says, oh, nah, not interested, I can't really be bothered, well, then what you're doing is you're giving up an opportunity for the potential of something good happening to you. So instead of saying no next time, try saying yes. Also try doing old things in new ways. This can be as simple as go to a different shopping centre, drive to work in a different direction, something like that. The more different things you do in your life, the more likely it is that new events will happen. Of course, some of these things could be bad, but we'll get into ways that you can get around that. The second thing that lucky people do is they listen to their hunches. Now, this section here may seem a little bit wishy-washy, but just go along with it. It's all based on valid research. Lucky people listen to their gut. That voice inside them that tells them, do this or don't do that. Lucky people are very much in tune with that. Now, this isn't some guardian angel or magical ability or anything like that. It's just their brain. It's a part of their brain telling them things that maybe only the subconscious is aware of. So you also need to know how to make sure that your gut is telling you the right thing. And what lucky people do is they train their intuition. They do things like meditation. And I know meditation might seem like one of those mystical things that I told you doesn't exist at the start, but the fact of the matter is meditation can help. It's not going to unlock you to the secrets of the universe or give you mystical powers or allow you to survive without food or water or anything like that. But what it does do is it can relax the mind, it can relax your body, it can make you more likely to be aware of things around you and be more aware of your subconscious. Lucky people do this. They clear their mind. When they're stuck in the middle of a problem, they go somewhere quiet and they just try to forget about the problem for a while and make the decision to come back to it later. People that do this have much more success in figuring out the right solutions to different problems. Lucky people expect good luck. They expect their luck in the long term to continue. They assume that tomorrow is going to be a good day, instead of what a lot of us do and we go to bed thinking, oh, tomorrow I've got 3 meetings and then I've got a dentist appointment afterwards. A lucky person is more likely to go, great, I've got 3 meetings to go to tomorrow. That'll be an opportunity to maybe learn some new ideas and try some things out. And I've got a dentist appointment, and who knows, maybe the dentist will be cute. Lucky people also set high expectations for themselves. Realistic expectations, but high expectations. And one thing that we've discovered is that setting high expectations makes it more likely that you will either achieve them or get closer to them than you ordinarily would. Lucky people also try all the time. If you've got nothing to lose, you may as well go for it. Now, always trying doesn't mean taking stupid risks, but it does mean saying to yourself, well, if I fail, what's the worst that can happen? If I can handle failure, if the idea of failure is not that terrible, I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Lucky people also expect good interactions with others. They assume that the people around them are going to be good for them. And often when you make that assumption, it will sort of come out and other people will start to notice this in you and start to realize that you think of them in a good way. And when people think like that, they're going to be more likely to interact in a positive nature with you. Now, the fourth and final step is to turn bad luck into good. In step 1, where we talked about maximizing chance opportunities, what we're really talking about then is increasing the likelihood of different events occurring in your life. And obviously, some of these events could be bad. And you might end up getting into a bad situation that wouldn't have happened had you not tried something new. So what you need to do to help that is figure out how to take the bad things that happen and try to turn them into as good an event as possible. So there are a couple of ways you can do this. First of all, always try to see the good things in any situation. If something bad happens, what good things can you get out of it? Also, does that bad situation really matter? That bad thing that happened to you, at the end of the day, is it a big deal? You asked somebody out and they turned you down. Well, that might be pretty embarrassing, but is it that big a thing? You got knocked back for a job opportunity. Okay, it may be disappointing, but was that the last job you possibly ever could have gotten in your life? Or could you simply go and try for another one? Another thing you can do is to compare yourself to those who are worse off. If you lost a job, you can say to yourself, well, at least I still have my house. There are people out there that don't have homes. You just got dumped by a girlfriend or a boyfriend, well, at least you found somebody in the first place and will be able to find somebody again. Try to compare yourself, try to think about how worse it could be, and your problems will start to get smaller in comparison. Lucky people also assume that everything will work out for them in the end. This can be hard. This can be a really, really hard thing to do, especially if you've had a whole string of bad things happening to you. But if you try to think in this manner, if you try to say to yourself, okay, I'm in a bad situation right now, but how might that change in the future? Is this bad situation going to last? Probably not. In the end, things will turn good. If you can think in that way, it's not actually changing those bad things that are happening to you, but it's changing your perspective on them. It's changing how you think about them, and also that will change how you handle them. which is going to make things work out for you in the best naturally. Lucky people also move forwards. If a bad thing happens, they're more likely to say, well, that was bad, okay, I'm going to move on, I'm going to put that behind me. Lucky people also, they focus on the good. Something bad happens, they say, well, what about all of these good things that are going on as well? And finally, the last thing that lucky people do is they prevent bad things from happening to them in the first place. Now, how do you do that? How do you stop bad things from happening to you? Well, one of the biggest things you can do is to learn from your mistakes and take responsibility for things that happen if they might be your fault. Don't try to blame other people for it. Don't try to blame random events or chance. Try to actually say to yourself, this bad thing that happened, was it in any way my fault? Should I take responsibility for any of this? And if yes, if you honestly realize yes, part of this was your fault, learn from that mistake. Say to yourself, what exactly was it that I did in this situation? And figure out how not to make that same mistake again. So, to summarize, lucky people maximize their opportunities for chance. They listen to their lucky hunches. They expect good fortune. And when bad things happen to them, they find some way of turning it around and making it into a good thing. So that's it. 4 ways to change your life in order to improve your life. My name is Adam van Langenberg, and remember, please try these at home. Good luck.